Hey guys, so I just got done finally watching Marriage Story, the Netflix Oscar-nominated film that's, like I said, available on Netflix. Yeah, this is a movie that, like I said, I said in my last couple of reviews that I was going to start trying to review a lot of Oscar-nominated films I hadn't seen yet. I've seen a lot of them, but there's a few I haven't seen, and I wanted to try to get reviews in for those, like Marriage Story, Two Popes, Judy. I'm gonna review Jojo Rabbit tomorrow because it's it's out at my theater. What was the other one? Oh, Pain and Glory. I want to see Parasite, but that's all, like I said, all dependent on if my theater ever gets it. I'm not 100% sure they will. At this point, I have no faith in my theater, so I'm surprised we're getting Jojo Rabbit, so fuck it. But maybe we will. I don't know. But I do want to see Parasite, but again, it's hard for me to find access to it without like just illegally downloading, I guess, the other option. But I want to try to support the movie. So I hear it's really good. Marriage Story was a movie even before it got all this Oscar nominations and stuff like that. I wanted to see because I'd heard really good things about it, with a lot of people claiming that it was one of the better films of the year. And I didn't know much about it other than it was starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. It was about a divorce, a married couple going for a divorce. That's pretty much all I got out of it when I heard about this movie, and that it was going to be released exclusively on Netflix. I was like, what the hell? And again, like I said, it's crazy the world we live in, but that like Oscar-nominated films are getting put exclusively on Netflix, and that's how a lot of people are viewing these movies. But that's the way it is nowadays. I mean, streaming service is the way of the future, no matter what you want to fucking, no matter what people like Steven Spielberg want to say, it's the way of the fucking future. That's the way we're going. A lot less people are going to the movie theaters nowadays, but that's the way it's, the direction we're heading in. But like I said, yeah, I was looking forward to watching this movie. I was like, one of those movies, like, is it gonna live up to the hype that this movie's been given? Because some movies don't always do, but yeah, maybe it will. And yeah, it did live up to the hype. This is one of the best movies I've seen all year. Easily one of the best movies of last year. Goddamn, I hate that it took me for this long to finally watch this movie, and now I did. I'm like, goddamn, man, this is one of the better, this is a movie that definitely the Oscars got right as far as all the nominations it's getting. It deserves almost every one of them, pretty much every single one of them. I love this movie. It's a fucking great movie. It's a hard movie to sit through because it's pretty goddamn spot on. Full disclosure, I'm a person that's never been married, isn't married, and never really plans on being married, especially after watching this movie. Definitely. This is a movie if you're one of those people like me that really don't really care if I get married one way or another. This is a movie that will pretty much dissuade you from ever fucking getting married. It's like one of those movies don't ever watch if you really are on the fence about fucking ever getting married. This will make you go, nope, I am definitely not getting married. But I'll say this: I'm a kid who grew up in with divorced parents. My parents got divorced. And I currently have a sister who's going through the exact same fucking thing, and I've heard her talk about her husband and have conversations with her husband that are pretty much almost goddamn spot on. I guarantee you, I wish I could review this movie with my sister, because I have to ask her if she's seen this movie yet or not, but goddamn, this movie's it's probably gonna hit close to home for her. Adam Driver and Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are fucking amazing in this movie. I thought they were career-defining performances, probably career best performances from both. Especially Scarlett Johansson, who she's a kind of a hit and miss actress for me, and she is really fucking good in this movie. Like that, like I was kind of like, for the first 20 minutes, I was sitting there like kind of just liking the movie so far, but not loving it. But the scene that really sold me was the part where she first meets with Laura Dern, and she has this whole fucking monologue about her that goes for her whole relationship with Adam Driver and everything they went through in their whole marriage that's led up to this point. And it's fucking great. Like, some of the best acting I've seen in her whole career was in this one fucking scene. It's amazing. Like, I was like, bravo. I was like, I just sat there and went, bravo, bravo. Honestly, she should be a favorite one best actress. I think it's probably Renee Zellweger's to win, but honestly, it's gonna be hard for her to like, just because Renee Zellweger's playing a historical figure, she's probably gonna win it because the Oscars love that kind of shit. So, but fucking her performance is really fucking good in this movie, and so is Adam Driver. Don't get me wrong, Adam Driver even plays this great this guy who's it seems like a lot of guys in a lot of marriages I've seen where they're kind of oblivious to, they're like kind of like thrown into a whirlwind when these divorces start happening, and where they kind of are oblivious to a lot of the problems the wives are going through and the problems the wife is having with the husband, and it throws him for a loop, and he's just like thrown for a loop and taken aback by some of the stuff that starts coming out, because like the claws come out, like the worst of people come out when it comes to trying to go through a fucking divorce. My sister probably could attest to that. Like the shit that her husband had a pretty decent marriage, but once they started going for those fucking divorce proceedings, holy fucking shit! Like, it's ugly, man. Like, and like they start really fucking going into each other. And like I said, Adam Driver has that moment where him and Scarlett Johansson are towards the end, where they're at his apartment, or they have that emotional scene where they have a big giant outburst at each other. It's a great fucking scene. That scene where he punches a hole in the wall. It's a great fucking scene, man. It's like, again, bravo acting. Like, it's like, goddamn, man. It's like, his acting is fucking great. He is a guy that I really became more and more a fan of over the last couple of years. Even in the Star Wars movies, he's put his all in those fucking movies. As far as Kylo Ren, he's the best. Like a lot of people have said, he's the best character in those films. And yeah, I agree 100%. He's awesome. And goddamn, man, he's really fucking good in this movie. Like, it's good to see him. Like, he was like, I think, like, I've heard a lot of people talk about how his performance is one of the best performances of the year. I thought stuff like Adam Sandler was better because that was just such an unreal performance. And I'm sure everybody, of course, the Oscars are going to pretty much, I guarantee they're going to give it to Joaquin Phoenix. It's just a given. You know they're going to give it to Joaquin Phoenix at the Oscars. It's just going to happen. Let's face it now. But Adam Driver did pull off a fucking amazing performance in this movie. And deserves the be in close second, if not. Him and Scarlett Johansson both fucking knocked out of the park. Laura Dern, who's getting a lot of Oscar talk too, she's got a nomination. She even won a Golden Globe. Is really good as Scarlett Johansson's lawyer, who plays just like every fucking lawyer, terrible lawyer I've ever fucking seen. Like, man, once the lawyers start coming out, like at first they're like a lot of fucking married couples where they don't want to get lawyers involved. They just want to solve this problem themselves. But because it's every fucking divorce hearing I've ever seen in my entire life, of course, the lawyers get involved, and once the lawyers get involved, it gets really fucking ugly. You get Laura Dern, because, like, Scarlett Johansson gets told by a friend that Laura Dern is this really good lawyer, that she should really go see her, and Laura Dern convinces her that she can get whatever the fuck she wants, and that's pretty much all she needs to know. And she easily sympathizes with Scarlett Johansson, and listens to her and listens to her story, and that makes her become pretty close with Scarlett Johansson, and it's like she is really fucking good in this movie as this like ruthless lawyer that is trying to get Scarlett Johansson pretty much exactly what she wants, and it is really good. I love Laura Dern in this movie. It was kind of fun seeing her play this kind of horrible person almost because she's a fucking lawyer. It's kind of different. It was also there's Adam Driver's lawyers, which consist of first Alan Alda, who's great, who's this entertainment lawyer that decided to become a family lawyer, who he hires at first because he's the cheapest option because he needs to save some money, because he's working on this play and he don't want to put all his money into this divorce hearings, which pretty much everybody does, unfortunately. That's the horrible thing, is that how much money people put into divorce. It's just ridiculous. It's hurting the children at the end of the fucking day when you're putting all this money into divorces and not your kids. That's a problem. Like, they address that in this movie too, but anyways, yeah, he is a lawyer that first represents Adam Driver, and then things happen, and then Ray Liotta pops up, and Ray Liotta is like the male equivalent to Laura Dern, but even worse. He's awesome. I love Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta is awesome in this movie. He's goddamn steals every scene he's in it. He was cracking me up. Like, goddamn, he's an asshole. Also, you have people like this movie. Already from the get-go was like one of my favorite movies of the year when Wallace Shawn pops up. You don't know who Wallace Shawn is? I'm not even going to explain it to you. Princess Bride, Toy Story. Yeah, if you don't know who Wallace Shawn is, he's a fucking national treasure, and he pops up very briefly every 2 minutes in this movie as like one of the actors in that works for Adam Driver in New York, and he always has these weird ass stories about how he was a Broadway play actor, big name Broadway play actor, and like his stories are pretty funny. I would like a movie of his own. Like, I would love to just hear stories from him the whole movie. That would have been funny. Like, it was kind of like, what the fuck is he talking? They would randomly cut to him, and sometimes they'd be like just some random stories. You're like, I want to hear what the fuck the rest of that story, how the rest of that story went. Yeah, it was cool to see Wallace Shawn and something. Like I said, this movie is so well fucking written. It's one of the best written movies. It's easily gonna win probably best screenplay. I think original screenplay. It probably will. I will be shocked if it doesn't. It's really fucking. I haven't seen many of the other works of Noah Baumbach, the guy who wrote and directed this movie. I know he did that movie Margot at the Wedding, which I saw briefly one time. I barely remember it. I think that's the only thing of his I've seen. But this is a really well written movie, and it feels like real characters, feels like real people, it feels like real situations. It doesn't feel like some Hollywood overproduced crap. It feels like authentic. It and it really, really is a goddamn great movie. If you haven't seen this movie, go fucking check it out. It's well acted, well written, well directed. It's goddamn one of the better movies of the year. I'm trying to think of forgetting something else, but that's pretty much about it. Yeah, that's as far as Marriage Story goes. I am gonna try later or earlier tomorrow. I'm gonna go see Jojo Rabbit, Bad Boys for Life, and I'll have reviews of those sometime in the near future. And until then, I will talk to you guys later.